It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
Now, if someone's going to rip you off, at least they feel bad about it. That's what happened in Port Orange. This Florida man apologized while snatching a lady's purse at the Port Orange CVS. "I'm sorry," he said. He's been booked into jail. His name is Charles Nelson. In Volusia County, he's in jail. Police say he snatched the purses from two women in Port Orange, one a 77-year-old lady, one 64. One of the women said he jumped at her in the CVS parking lot. She said, "When I left the store, he was parked right there. He'd backed in. I didn't notice him at the time. I went across to my car and I was getting in, and he ran huffing and puffing at about 9:30 in the morning on Monday." She said she got a look at his face before he allegedly grabbed the purse from her shoulder. She said, "He was trying to take my purse and I was so shocked that I wasn't trying to give it to him. So he knocked me over and I still had the purse, and then he pulled the purse really hard." She said she fell to the ground, and before he ran away, he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am." Wow. Police said very fortunately that he didn't get far. They were able to catch him quickly. He confessed to both purse snatchings, along with another one in South Daytona. She said, the woman there said, "He threw my stuff behind a place called Pagano's Restaurant. The officers went to get it." She said so she was able to get her stuff back. From now on, she plans to carry mace. Never thought something like this would happen to her. So there he is. He's he's the apologetic purse snatcher. What do you think? I know we have a thing in the middle of his face, but I like that he was sorry at least. I'm going to give him a 7. What do you think, Tony?
I mean, it's kind of a boring, you
just run of the mill. Yeah. I'm giving him a 7 because he apologized.
Patchy beard. It's like, come on, man. Throw it in a little better.
This next story involves a fatality, but this man was so upset that he got kicked out of a strip club that he decided to go back, get a truck, and drive it into a group of people right in the front, a semi-truck into a strip club after he got kicked out. This man has been arrested. He injured 2 people, killed 1 person at the Emperor's Gentlemen's Club. It happened at about 4:30 in the morning Tuesday after this man, identified as 25-year-old Dylan Fogel, drove a truck through a group of people right outside the Emperor's Gentlemen's Club and then rolled into the club. Witnesses told police Mr. Fogel had been kicked out of the establishment, then returned to drive this semi-truck into a group of people standing right at the entrance. He was hospitalized in critical condition. Police say this is an unbelievably tragic and completely avoidable incident. So sad. He's been now charged with first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, vehicular homicide, DUI with serious injury, etc. I guess, get really angry when you get kicked out of the strip club. Here's a lady who didn't really want to pay the so-called high prices at Target. This Florida woman arrested after swapping price tags in a Target shoplifting scheme. Oh, ma'am. No, it's not good. This Florida woman was taken to jail after she stole nearly $300 worth of items from a Target store last week. Her name is Carla Nishikura. She's 39. She was arrested on charges of shoplifting, scheme to defraud, and violation of probation, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. It was a little after 6 p.m. on Friday when deputies responded to a shoplifting incident at the Target store in Palm Coast. They spoke with the store's loss prevention officer, who reported seeing this lady, Nishikura, removing price tags from clothing items and replacing them with cheaper price tags. She allegedly took a price tag from a pencil box and placed it over a Lego set, along with adding other items to her cart. Then she went to the self-checkout, according to police, where she only scanned 5 of the 12 items in her cart for a grand total of $19.50. The real total should have been $268.48. So she left the store without paying for the other 7 items, according to police. The loss prevention folks take her into the office, and then the police arrive. She, they say, apparently likes the 5-finger discounts, doesn't want to pay for items like the rest of us do. According to Sheriff Rick Staley, we won't allow shoplifting in Flagler County, so hopefully she's learning her lesson while spending some time in the Green Roof Inn. I guess that's their jail. Okay. Not the first time this woman has been caught shoplifting at Target. She was caught in 2023, and she's on a 12-month probation for an incident in that year as well. She looks like kind of a sad sack, Tony. I don't know. I'm going to give her a 5. A 5 for the shoplifter. What do you think?
Well, I gotta chat. That neck tat puts her up a bit.
Yeah.
The neck tattoo pushes up to probably a 7.5.
That's a 7 for you. Okay.
Oh, the neck tat carries a long way for Florida, right?
She has this look on her face that's like, I don't know if it's a look of regret or anger.
There's probably regret because she got caught because it wasn't even very good shoplifting she did, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, nah.
They are snake wrestling in the Everglades. They have a 10-day challenge in Florida that's all about getting rid of these pythons in the Everglades. It's a 10-day challenge, and it's the annual Florida Python Challenge. So people go out to the Everglades and they track down these invasive Burmese pythons, and it's all part of an effort to get a share of $30,000 in prizes. It's a 10-day hunt. They've been doing it for at least 10 years. And it's meant to get rid of these snakes, these giant Burmese pythons in the Everglades. So these people go out and they do this. This year, more than 600 people registered for the snake hunting event. 2 people came from Canada to do it. 108 people came from other states. It is a uniquely Florida event in Western Broward County. So there you go. The snake Burmese python event. Florida. The folks at Disneyland say anyone who signed up for Disney Plus is no longer allowed to sue. This came about because of a wrongful death lawsuit. This man had an allergic reaction at an Irish pub in Disney Springs in October. And he's a 42-year-old man. He's a New York doctor. So he goes to this Irish pub at Disney World or Disney Springs, and he has this allergic reaction and he does not survive it. So they've brought a wrongful death lawsuit against this Irish pub and against Disney. Disney wants the Florida court to dismiss the lawsuit because they say the family had signed up for Disney Plus. And in the subscriber agreement with Disney Plus, it includes binding arbitration clause. The very first page of the subscriber agreement says, all in capital letters, any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. That means if you signed up for Disney Plus, you can't sue. The family's lawyer.
Well, it's because Disney, everything's under one app. So to get to the park, to do the TV, everything is under one agreement is what they're doing. They're trying.
Which is interesting because when you sign up for Disney Plus, you're thinking
you're
signing
up.
You
just did the trial of Disney Plus.
Well, when you sign up for Disney Plus, you feel like you're signing up for a streaming service. you're not thinking about anything that could happen at Disneyland or Disney World.
But it's all
right?
built into one app. The parks and everything are all built into one. It's a one unifying thing they have now. So
who knew?
the
Family.
Awful.
It is. The family says their lawyer is arguing it's absurd to believe that more than 150 million subscribers to Disney Plus have waived all rights to sue the company and its affiliates in perpetuity, even if their case has nothing to do with this popular streaming service.
And all park goers all agree to that by arbitration.
What, when they buy the ticket?
Mm-hmm. That's all part of the same app. It's all part of the same thing. That's what it is. It's the park goers, everything. It's all under one thing.
Disney has some good lawyers right there.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
I think it's too late. It's now in the public of they're doing what? So now it's yeah.
Wild. Let's go back to the strip club, Tony. There is a stripper, or a former stripper, who is suing the state of Florida over new age requirements for workers at adult entertainment businesses. So the new law says you've got to be 21 years or older in order to be a stripper, adult actress, dancer, whatever, at these strip clubs. So that means the people that were between the ages of 18, so they were legal at the time, up to 21, 18, 19, and 20, they are now out of a job. And one of them pretty upset and suing over it. This is a 19-year-old woman at the club where she worked as a stripper. She has been let go, saying she doesn't meet the age requirement at Cafe Risque. So now she's suing Florida's Attorney General and 2 local prosecutors to stop the enforcement of this new state law prohibiting adult entertainment businesses from employing people who are under the age of 21. She says it's violating her constitutional rights. Her name is Serenity Michelle Bushy. She says the lawsuit that cost her her job at the Cafe Risque in Gainesville is not fair. It was meant to deter human trafficking, according to Florida lawmakers, but she is suing over this. She's seeking a permanent injunction stopping this law from being enforced, claiming that it violates her First Amendment right to free speech and the 14th Amendment right to equal protection. There are 8 other adult performers who are older than 18 but younger than 21 that can't work at Cafe Risque because of this lawsuit. We'll see. She says this is how she earns a living, through what she calls her art, by providing entertainment for the benefit and the enjoyment of the audience. She said, we have a clear legal right to engage in protected speech of this nature. The law, by the way, is not only in regards to the entertainment, but for DJs and waitresses and security guards who are older than 18 but younger than 21. So, yep, wants her job back at Cafe Risque. The high-ranking officials at the in South Florida at a fire rescue unit, busted. They're indicted in a drug theft case. These are folks that worked as a medical director of emergency medical services and as one of the people in charge of the flight nurses. Dr. Sandra Schwemmer, who's 72, and is the medical director of the Monroe County Fire Rescue and the Trauma Star Air Ambulance Service, and one of the division chiefs, Andrea Thompson, are now each facing multiple criminal charges in the Florida Keys. Thompson, who's 45, oversaw the EMS and Trauma Star Division. They were initially arrested a couple of years ago. The indictments came as authorities continue what has turned out to be a long-term investigation into the theft of narcotics from the Trauma Star program. There they are in better days. Man, there were narcotics missing, discrepancies in the controlled substances log, and officials and detectives there determined they were stealing morphine and Versed, and then altering and falsifying records in an attempt to conceal the thefts. One of them, according to police, admitted to stealing these drugs. Police say it underscores their commitment to holding public servants accountable for their actions. that it's a violation of public trust, that no one is above the law, especially those entrusted with public safety and the welfare of the community in Florida. Busted, and it's not looking good for either of them. There's I love Grady Judd. There's a suspect that I think we had talked about this guy previously, and he was the one that fell asleep, kind of was so allegedly drunk or drugged up that he passed out in the Taco Bell drive-thru. And the drive-thru folks had to call the police, who had trouble waking him up. Finally, they get him out of the car and they arrest him. He gets out of jail and gets back into trouble. He is arrested for ambushing and robbing and shooting a couple after they hit a jackpot at a Tampa casino. Apparently, they say he followed this couple home to rob and shoot them after they won big at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. There's even door cam footage showing the moment that this couple was ambushed by these two suspects after what's being called their dream night at the casino turned into a nightmare. Let's take a look at what Sheriff Grady Judd had to say about one of the suspects. Before we do that, though, those are pretty good mugshots. I'm going to give them both a 7. What do you think? Josh says 6.8. Yeah. John Watson says 6 and 6.5. Maybe I went a little too high. I don't know. What do you think, Tony?
That just
Yeah, there's what's in front of the doorway.
Did you want to play the
Yeah, let's see Sheriff Grady Judd.
Okay, give me 1 second. I cue it up.
Yeah, you can do it. Sheriff Judd is so funny. So
I think
here
it was $3,000. They were followed to their house by some criminals who shot them in order to rob them. Here's the one guy, Marcus Jenkins. He's 34. We had previously arrested Marcus Jenkins, Highway 92 East at the Taco Bell. I'd done some press on it. He was unresponsive in the drive-through lane. So the people at Taco Bell said, hey, we sell tacos and we can't do it with this guy's car parked here. So our deputies, who are the very greatest, showed up and said to themselves, here's a fella passed out, couldn't wake him up, got fire there, finally got him awake. We arrested him. We arrested him for trafficking in fentanyl, marijuana, a public nuisance vehicle, resisting arrest, DUI, DWLSR, possession of identification from another. The bond was $25,000. We locked him up. He posted bond. Okay, he was arrested on July the 6th. He posted bond on July the 9th. And then he goes to Hillsborough County, follows the people from the Hard Rock, and shoots them in a robbery at their front doorstep. Well, the Lakeland Police Department worked with Hillsborough County because he lives in the city of Lakeland, and he was arrested there at his Lakeland home for the shooting in Hillsborough County. Okay, he's got 53 previous felony charges, 18 previous misdemeanor charges, for a total of 71 criminal charges. He's been to state prison 5 times. Did you hear what I said? 5 times. He's a slow learner.
That was gold, Tony. That's what I was looking for. He's a slow learner. I love that.
That's a bad man, dude.
Yeah, he's a slow learner, indeed. This is something also uniquely Florida. This cocaine package, the size of a microwave oven, covered with barnacles, was found off the coast of Florida. Yeah, they think it's been there for quite some time. Lots of cocaine there floating off the coast. The boaters found it. $625,000 worth of cocaine bobbing around off the Florida coast. It's quite a find. Floating in the Gulf of Mexico right near the Everglades. It was spotted on Monday. The Collier County Sheriff's Office says boaters found this 56-pound package the size of a microwave oven floating in mangroves off Panther Key near Port of the Islands. Inside, there were 25 individually wrapped kilograms of cocaine worth about $625,000. Deputies recovered the cocaine, which was covered in barnacles. They say it indicates the package had been in the water for quite a while. They said it was reminiscent of something called the square grouper marijuana smuggling days during the 70s and 80s, but that it's quite uncommon for today. They're trying to figure out where this cocaine originally came from. They say it most likely washed in with the tides, maybe from the East Coast due to recent storms. I don't know. The sheriff's office said the large packages of drugs in the microwave oven-sized package ranged from marijuana to hashish to cocaine. Well, they say that packages like this have been discovered floating in the waters off Miami and the Florida Keys. We know that their recent tests of sharks in this area have indicated that sharks have cocaine in their muscle and in their tissue. So, well, we can forget falling iguanas because Hurricane Debbie uncovered something else interesting in Florida. And Tony and I were talking about this before the show. He thinks that this is normal. I think I've never seen anything like this before. These are walking catfish. They apparently are seen sometimes during hurricane season. The catfish were washed up during Hurricane Debbie. The hurricane, went after it made landfall, it resulted in major flooding. And so people were finding these catfish walking around on their front lawn, their walkways, in their backyards. People sharing video of this. Check it out. Apparently they can look at it. And there it goes. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of more like a wiggle, like a snake wiggle. But from what I understand, these walking catfish, they breathe air and they walk on their pectoral fins. They're native to freshwater in Southeast Asia, but they are found throughout Florida in swampy areas like the Everglades. This according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission. And sometimes they're found in storm drainage systems, and that's where they may emerge during floods. So you can see them using their pectoral fins to walk, or sometimes swimming through floodwaters. While they don't have legs per se, they walk or move in this S formation, like an eel or a snake, with these quick whip-like movements. People want to know, if we find them on our walkway, can we eat them? It is apparently illegal to possess or transport live walking catfish in Florida. They said fishermen will tell you immediately to put them on ice if you're going to try to eat them. They are considered a tasty fish in their native home, and they're fairly safe to eat, but they say, no, just gently carry them and put them back in the water where they go, and that should be it. Yeah, falling iguanas, alligators, walking catfish. I'm telling you, Florida is a heck of an interesting place. So let's go through it and vote for your favorite. First, we have the Florida man who apologized while stealing a woman's purse, allegedly, at Port Orange CVS parking lot. The man who drove a semi-truck into a strip club after getting kicked out. The woman arrested after switching the price tags, the old price tag switcheroo, at the Target in a shoplifting scheme. The snake hunting event in the Everglades, the Florida 10-day snake challenge. The stripper who sued Florida over her new age restrictions for the workers at the adult entertainment businesses. Disney, who says anyone who signed up for Disney Plus can't sue them. The high-ranking South Florida fire rescue officials caught allegedly, pilfering drugs, including morphine and Versed. The man who fell asleep in the Taco Bell drive-thru went to prison and then was let out, only to allegedly try to steal somebody's jackpot from the Hard Rock Casino. The cocaine floating in the Everglades, or the walking catfish. These are the choices. Tony, what is your favorite Friday Fabulous Florida story today?
Oh, to me, the one that was the most Florida. Snake guys.
The snake
Look
guys.
at those two. Come on. Look at them.
That's pretty funny. I'm gonna
But if
say,
you look at the chat, it is walking catfish all the way. It looks
walking
like
catfish. I kind of like the walking catfish too. I have to be honest, but I'm going for Sheriff Grady Judd, and he's a slow learner.
He's a slow learner.
The Hard Rock jackpot ambush. I'll go for that one, and that, my friends, is the beautiful, the amazing Friday Fabulous Florida.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell, you'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.